I will admit, this might be hard to believe for some of you, but I haven't seen every single movie out there. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that out there for you. What is up, you guys? My name is Elias and I love movies, and today I want to talk about a few extremely hilarious horror films that I just happen to be obsessed with. They do deliver the gore and the horror aspect that should be in there, I guess.
Such a foolish, fatal mistake of coming here to challenge me.
Oh, I have a plan.
So do I.
The first movie that I want to talk about came out in 1985, and that movie is Re-Animator. It's sort of a Frankenstein story, but it definitely takes everything to a whole entire different level. You have a medical student from Switzerland, I believe, who moved to the US to continue with his studies, which is bringing the dead back to life. I will say that even though it's a very cheesy movie, the acting is phenomenal. I love the performance from the main character, Herbert West, who is the medical student that created this serum to bring the dead back to life. Their performances are a little overboard, but it just fits in so perfectly with the style of the movie. You have a scene where West is bringing a dead cat back to life who happens to be crushed in half pretty much, and for some reason whenever he comes back to life he becomes like a demon cat. Also have naked zombies in a morgue that are pretty much supernaturally powerful and are trying to kill everybody. And how can I forget the very famous, extremely popular scene of Dr. Hill's head trying to give head. Yeah, just picture that if you haven't seen it. There's a lot that I can say about this movie, but I don't want to give anything away. Just trust me, during the month of October at least, go watch it. Next movie that I want to talk about is a movie that I recently watched for the first time not too long ago. I want to talk about 1997's House, or its original title, House-su. It's a Japanese film about a few schoolgirls visiting a haunted house. You have this one girl who wants to go visit her aunt, and her schoolgirl high school friends decide to go along with her. I will say that every single scene in this movie is beautiful, and I know it sounds weird for a movie that could be considered cheesy and ridiculous, but it's just beautifully shot. I'm talking about the lighting and especially the backdrops. There's a lot of scenes where it just feels like a dream sequence because the things that you are currently watching are unbelievable. You're not gonna believe your eyes when you're watching this. And the theme song is beautiful, which plays on repeat from beginning to end. Throughout the whole entire movie, you just keep hearing it over and over and over, but for some reason I never really got tired of it because it's so beautiful to listen to. Just like any other horror movie, your main characters start dying off one by one. You have a floating head that is in a well that belonged to one of the schoolgirls that starts floating around the air and ends up biting another girl's ass. You have a piano that comes to life and ends up eating a girl. And of course, to top off everything, you have a demonic painting of a fluffy white cat that throws up blood. Everything about the movie is ridiculous. It's hilarious, it's stupid, it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, but as a movie, as a whole, it is brilliant.
Oh, Fernando! Your mother ate my dog!
Not all of it.
The next movie that I want to talk about is a movie that I also recently watched and that I'm also very obsessed with. I want to talk about 1992's Dead Alive, also known as brain dead. This movie is also very beautiful to look at least the first half. For some reason, the first half just looks like a dream within a dream. And then the second half is disgusting, but in a good way. This one guy who is the main character, and his mom is obsessed over him. She's like one of those overprotective mothers, I guess. She ends up getting bit by a rat monkey. After she gets bit by this rat monkey, she immediately turns into a zombie. And then even though her son is trying to help her out, it somehow it just starts to spread rapidly. Oh my god, the practical effects in this movie are brilliant. They are magnificent. We have a scene where zombies are having sex and there is foreplay involved. You also have a baby zombie, which cracked me up every single time he came on screen. And how can I forget this amazing scene where a Catholic priest somehow knows karate and ends up just kicking ass fighting all of these zombies. And how can I forget the ending? Not try to spoil anything, but you get this gigantic, enormous, overweight, naked zombie destroying the whole entire house. If it sounds like something you think you might enjoy, please watch it. You might become obsessed with it the way I have. I want to talk about 2007's Planet Terror by Robert Rodriguez. Planet Terror is just a movie that I just had to put on this list. It's chaotic, it's ridiculous, but it's also very, very well done. Everything, and when I say everything, I mean everything in this movie is absolutely over the top. There's a government experiment gone wrong that pretty much turns everybody into zombies. This movie just has a lot of disgusting, gory moments that you can't overlook. Robert Rodriguez was trying to like purposely make a bad film. And of course we all know because of the posters, how can we forget Rose McGowan with one leg that happens to have a machine gun attached to it. There's also this one very uncomfortable scene with Quentin Tarantino, who I consider a brilliant filmmaker. He's definitely my favorite, and my god, is he a horrible actor. But because he's a horrible actor, he sort of fit in perfectly with this movie. At least I think so.
Let's talk about how I get back home.
The last movie that I want to talk about is Army of Darkness. It almost feels like a parody movie. You can just tell that they had a blast putting all of this together. But even though it feels like a parody movie, you can just tell they took it very seriously because there's a lot going on. It's goofy, it's stupid, it's ridiculous, it's hilarious, and it's epic, all wrapped up in one. We have Ash, who has made this deal with everyone to stay alive and go find the Necronomicon, which happens to be this book with magic powers that overcomes the Army of Darkness and can also take him back to the future, to his normal time. Of course, Ash being Ash, he ends up ruining it. And because he ruins it, he ends up bringing the dead to life, which is why it's called the Army of Darkness, because that's what he brings back to life whenever he can't figure out the password. Noctu Verita Nectro. No, Noctu Batra Nectro. What the hell was it? There's so many scenes that are just over the top that you can't help but laugh, or at least scratch your head thinking, what the hell am I watching? But that's it, you guys. Those are the movies that I wanted to mention to you. I know there's a lot more that I could talk about. If you guys haven't seen any of these movies, I do recommend them. If there are other movies that are relatable to these that I mentioned that you guys think I should watch, please leave them in the comment section down below. Like the video if you like, subscribe for more videos if you want, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. What should I watch?
Thank you for watching Gary Movie House. Like, comment, and subscribe for my videos. Peace out, homies.